Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have time for today. Just a couple of words about your self-study assignments. I hope you're all aware that the first 3 sections of your report are due next Friday. That's the 24th. Please send the text to me by email and don't forget to double space your work and to put your name and student number at the top of the first page so that I can keep track of your progress in the student registration system. And there's something I'd forgotten to mention before. I think it's crucial at this point that you start thinking about the structure of the rest of the report. If you fail to do so, you might struggle to complete it in a satisfactory manner. Some of you may feel they can just start typing the first draft straight away, but I know from experience that this usually causes problems with the content at a later stage. So I need you all to prepare an outline for the discussion and conclusion sections. Just keywords or main points is enough. You can find a sample outline in Chapter 4 of your textbook. If you want, you may also hand in the outline during our next meeting. We're meeting at 2 p.m. on Monday in room 205, as usual. Have a nice weekend, everyone. Hope to see you all on Monday.
Well, that's exactly what we need now. And the function is one of the things that they did was that they differentiated ecological and economic land. And they did this by using biometric evaluations. They said, what is the value of the productivity that we're getting off these slope farming? And it was very little. And what's the value of the ecological function? And it's huge. So when they made these kind of determinations, they could release land to nature. And it would have increased value than continuing to try to extract things from this. Now, this is a very interesting phenomenon because it suggests that ecological function is more valuable than productivity. We need to think about this particular concept.
Answer question 6.
What is it about a big brain that nature was so eager for everyone else to have one? Well, it turns out when brains triple in size, they don't just get 3 times bigger, they gain new structures. And one of the main reasons that our brain got so big is because it got a new part called the frontal lobe, and particularly a part called the prefrontal cortex. Now, what does a prefrontal cortex do for you? Turns out the prefrontal cortex does lots of things, but one of the most important things it does is it is an experience simulator. It's a marvelous adaptation. It's up there with opposable thumbs and standing upright in language as one of the things that got our species out of the trees and into the shopping mall. Let's see how your experience simulators are working. Let's just run a quick diagnostic before I proceed with the rest of the talk. Here's 2 different futures that I invite you to contemplate, and you can try to simulate them and tell me which one you think you might prefer. One of them is winning the lottery. This is about $314 million, and the other is becoming paraplegic. So just give it a moment of thought. You probably don't feel like you need a moment of thought. And interestingly, there are data on these 2 groups of people, data on how happy they are. And this is exactly what you expected, isn't it? But these aren't the data. I made these up. These are the data. You failed the pop quiz and you're hardly 5 minutes into the lecture. Because the fact is that a year after losing the use of their legs and a year after winning the lotto, lottery winners and paraplegics are equally happy with their lives.